Hello and welcome back to another episode of Craven Some Raven. And in this episode, there's no game this weekend, at least not for us Ravens. We're already in the first seed, so I'm going to be talking about this Greg Roman, Wink Martindale. Will they, won't they? The whole thing of the season, right? The whole, are they going to do it? Well, they should not jump the shark, and they shouldn't do it. I'm also going to be I'm going to do my playoff prediction. I'll do it live. I haven't really fully thought it through. I haven't really fully looked into it. So I'm going to do that, give my Super Bowl prediction, predict the playoffs, so I can just have that out there, kind of predict everything and see how we do going forward. But first and foremost, let's talk about these coordinators where they think they can just leave and like no one cares, right? You're just going to leave me? You're just going to leave me like that? Huh? Listen. Let's start with Wink Martindale. I'm not too sure if he leaves. I think he does actually end up staying. I think he realizes what, as Ravens fans, we kind of already know. I don't know if we know this, but I mean, I just don't think you're going to find a great situation amongst all of the different vacancies. I know the Giants were talking to Wink, or at least they requested to have an interview with him. I don't know if that's a 100% surefire thing as of right now, but I know they were the ones that were showing some interest, maybe the Cowboys, just seeing what's going on with Jason Garrett. But, people normally look towards the offensive guru for the new head coach, but some teams, they're like, hey, let's go get the defensive coordinator. They see what Wink Martindale did with the Ravens. They had the number one defense last year. They're top of the league this year. I think top 5. I don't know exactly how the numbers pan out, but I think, if you watch the Ravens, you would say, hey, this is a top defense in the league. So maybe they see that, and they see what Dean Pease was doing with the same squad, and then the very next year, we become the best defense. And hey, well, this guy, he's at least a better coach than Dean Pease. So let's give him a head coaching job. We want his defensive scheme in our system. Heavy blitz, heavy blitz, lockdown corners. But at the same time, anywhere Wink goes, they are not going to have the talent that the Ravens have on defense. Now, I think there are some talented defenses out there, but all of them, I think, have head coaches, right? The Bears, the 49ers, the Patriots. All of these teams, they already have their head coach locked down. And these are, even the Titans, maybe. These are defenses that would be helped by Wink Martindale. I don't think he could help a lot of teams. A team that's struggling, they need to go in a different direction. Like, imagine the Browns with Wink Martindale. That would be such a disaster. I mean, this is nothing against Wink. I'm sure he would make a great head coach, but I don't think so. He's a defensive coordinator. Last time he was a defensive coordinator, not with the Ravens, he was with the Broncos, and that did not go well. They were the worst defense, and that's why Dean Pease had to work his way up through our system to become the defensive coordinator. This wasn't just an overnight kind of thing. He didn't just come in out of nowhere. Now, he is kind of like a player's coach. People love him. The players love him. Fans love him. I love his swag, as you say. He pulls out the chain. He's a big dude, man. He looks like he could be out there playing. I love his interviews. He always has some great one-liners. I just don't know if that's head coach material. Maybe it is. I mean, head coaches, they have to be leaders of men and not so much, coordinators, right? I know a lot of teams, they get these offensive coordinators and they call the offense. So they're doing basically double the duty where they're calling the offense and also being the head coach. And there's a lot that goes into that. And there's nothing in Wink's history that says, oh, he's going to be gangbusters at this. Now, there's nothing that said he won't. It's just it hasn't been done before, and I know when you use that logic, you can also, it's like, well, that they said the same thing about Lamar. It can't be done. It's never been done before. But hey, and it worked. But I mean, if you're a team, I wouldn't bet your future. I wouldn't bet your fans' future. Wouldn't bet your players' future on Wink Martindale, leaving and being the next great head coach. I think he makes a great defensive coordinator, but I don't know if he makes a great head coach. And this is kind of saying the same thing over again, but I just don't know. I like Wink as our defensive coordinator. I don't want to see him go. The defense has been excellent under him. I love the way he just blitzes all the time, right? But he's not he's not going to have the same situation as he does here. The Ravens organization is a great organization. I feel like a lot of players and a lot of people say, hey, it's a winning franchise. They know how to get things done. They've been doing it for a long time. There's a lot of continuity, in the front office with general manager, ownership, and a lot of these jobs that are open. It's not really that's secure. You better start winning early or you're not going to be there for long. And even if you start winning early, you're only going to be there for 8 years, because if you have 2 seasons in a row where you go 8-8 and then you go 5-11, God forbid that happens, your ass is grass. You're out of there, because the front offices, their jobs aren't secure. There's a lot of turnover there, so they got to get shit done right away. They can't have you slacking for a couple years. You got to be gangbusters right out the gate. And I don't know if he's that kind of guy. I think hopefully he realizes, hey, he's working for a great organization. He has the players. They have a great quarterback in Lamar Jackson who can lead them into the playoffs and through to a championship. Hasn't done it yet, but we're hoping this year. This is the year, right? The first full season of Lamar. A lot of success is coming from this team. And I think they leave. I don't know how much it affects us versus how much it affects them. I think they would end up doing terribly. We might take a step back. It's just bad for all parties. So I guess just pay the man. Do whatever you got to take to keep Wink Martindale. Now, with Greg Roman, I have a theory that we might be able to be even better without him. But I still think he should stay. I think it'd be wise for him to stay. I don't want to see him go. It's just, a theory as to I think the Ravens could be okay and improve if he wasn't there. But we'll get to that in a second. But here's why, he should stay. And it's very similar to the same reasons with Don Wink Martindale. You're not going to get a great situation outside of this. Outside of the Ravens. It's a winning organization. They have a great quarterback. And Greg Roman's system, at least as of recent history, it's all been about the running quarterback. He's been in nothing but offenses with running quarterbacks. Colin Kaepernick, Tyrod Taylor, and now with the Ravens. He's built on their running game, and I'm sure if he goes anywhere, he's still going to continue to have an efficient offense. They're going to ground and pound, opening up the play action, and it's going to be the same similar philosophies that he continues to run, use the tight ends, and it's going to be successful. But will he have as much success there as he does here? How much is it about money? How much is it about glory? I heard him talking about how everybody wants to be a head coach, but do you? Do you want to fork over your calling plays? Because it's going to be an issue. At some point, these coordinators, first-time head coaches, they run into the issue where, they have to take an untimely timeout because they're focusing on the play sheet and they're not focusing on, the everything else in the game. I mean, Greg Roman, he's up in the skybox, right? He's up in the booth calling the plays. So now what? Now he's going to be on the sideline? He's going to have the same success? I know there's a lot of argument, versus being on the sideline and being with your guys or calling the plays from up top. Both have its advantages. If you're down on the field, you get to talk to your guys. You can say, hey, you like this, you want to do this, how are you feeling, how you doing, what's going on? But if you're up in the booth, you really get a bird's eye view of the whole field. You really get to see, what's working here, what's working there. How did they, I wanted to call this play to see how they counteracted it. So now I know that the defense acts this certain way towards my offense. So now when I call it again, I'm just going to do this. Bada bing, bada boom. And you get that with the bird's eye view. And I know they have cameras and stuff and they bring down the pictures, but I feel like it's not the same as being up top and really seeing everything, where you can focus on one aspect, really get a good view, and you don't have to go back and look at it. You see it live. And it's the same exact thing. This is a great organization, and do you want to leave? He says everyone wants to be a coach, so it's not about the money. It's about the glory, right? What's more glorious than having Lamar Jackson as your quarterback, this team being young, going to be together for a while? Why would you get rid of that? Why would you be a head coach in 4 years, 3 years, whatever you feel fit. But why don't you go a run with the boys, right? If it's about glory for you, if it's about, everyone wanting to be a head coach and, with that, having your own team and having success, you have success right now. I would, if I was Greg Roman, I would 100% stay with the Ravens because there isn't another Lamar Jackson, right? You've already got the city behind your back. You got the team believing in you because it has worked. It's worked well. you worked wonders with the squad. When Marty Morningwig left, it was like, no one gives a fuck. But we were excited about Greg Roman because we've seen what he's done in the past. It's just, I don't know if he's gonna be great elsewhere as a head coach. These guys are gonna be first time head coaches. It's boom or bust when you do that, right? He has coaching experience, right? And he is a great coach. I love his interviews. He's very matter of fact. He's also got some great one-liners. I like our coordinators where they're at. So can we just pay them mad money? Is there a limit to how much you can pay them? Can you just pay them like a head coach and that'll be fine? I know it might not be about the money, but let's just give them a little bit of money, make them a little bit happy, take them out to a steak dinner, wine and dine them, and then hopefully they stay. I hope they realize the situation that they're in, the organization that they're in. And I don't want to be like, oh, the Ravens organization, it's the best. Well, to me it is, but I mean, the coaching, there's a reason the coaching job is open, right? It's either they don't have the players, the coach was trash, the front office, shit rolls downhill. I mean, it starts up top. You're not bringing in the right personnel, and maybe the owner is making the wrong decisions when it comes to his franchise. I mean, I know the Redskins, they already have, they've gotten Ron Rivera now, he's officially there, and they're bringing in Jack Del Rio, and I like that. I like that for the Redskins. They get coaches with some good coaching experience. 2 head coaches are coming in to be the head coach and the defensive coordinator. I think that can work because they've proven themselves that they can do it, and they've coached bad teams and brought them back up. And so these teams, it's not so much about our coordinators, but it's just these teams just don't do the wrong thing, don't do the dumb thing, right? Take someone from college if you want to go new and fresh and young. Don't grab our coordinators. For the Ravens fans' sake, please, just don't. This is the most explosive and most exciting we've ever seen. For Ravens fans, it's the most explosive and most exciting offense we've ever seen. We're still continuing to dominate on defense. This has been just a fucking joy to watch. And these other teams are going to try and poach our guys? I mean, he's interviewing with the Browns. What have you been smoking? What makes you think that would be a good idea? I get it. Maybe you just take the interview, you leverage that into maybe getting more money, getting a good deal with the Ravens, getting an extension on your contract, leverage this interview to, gain more from the Ravens. Maybe this is what they're doing. And maybe him saying, everyone wants to be a head coach. It's all just kind of ramping up to, hey, I just want more money. I want to do this, leverage it however you see fit, Greg Roman. Get more leeway in the draft room or get more power in the draft room, whatever you want to do. More power in the city. I mean, I think, every single restaurant should just offer them free food for life. They should never have to pay for food ever again in Baltimore. Let's keep these motherfuckers, all right? Let's keep them. But it's always a possibility that they could leave. As dumb as I think of a decision that would be on their part and on the opposing team's part. Now, you know what? If they want to take him, it's a good hire. These are 2 great coaches. I'm just trying to, just don't do it. It's like hey, I wouldn't do that. And then you get them to, reverse psychology, I guess. Or I guess I don't even know if that's reverse psychology. Maybe it's just psychology. It's psychology. P as in psychology. Anyways, I mean, the more likely of the 2 to leave, I believe, is Greg Roman, just because that is the more likely thing. That's throughout the past couple of years, what's been going on, where it's the offensive coordinator that gets hired, they bring in their system, and they have a little bit of success. But, there's always the issue. It's, you can't be calling plays and being a head coach for the first time. It always, at some point, there is a hiccup, a snafu, as you would. It just always happens. But, I hope Greg Roman and Wink Martindale, they do the wise thing and really just try and ride this into the sunset. All of our players, most of our good players in the team, our cornerstone players, are locked up for a couple years, whether that be on a rookie deal or recently signed. Marcus Peters, so Brandon Williams, Lamar Jackson's on his rookie deal. I could name the whole fucking team and be like, well, all these guys are here. That's why you should stay. I got 53 reasons why you should stay. All right. But I think the more likely of the two to leave would be Greg Roman for those reasons I just said. But if he does leave, it's okay. I think the Ravens then have an opportunity to do something even more, first time this has happened, take the league over by storm and really just drop their hat in the, holy shit, did they just do that kind of NFL, history fandom? I don't know what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is they have an opportunity to do something extra special if Greg Roman leaves. Here's what they should do. If Greg Roman leaves, the Ravens should hire the Navy head coach and bring in the triple option. And I'm not talking half-assed. I'm talking full-on, full throttle triple option. No lollygagging, no bullshitting around triple option. All right? No, I can already hear you. That's crazy. Don't do it. It's never been done at the NFL level. Exactly. It's never been done at the NFL level. Why? Because people are scared. This is the reason Lamar Jackson dropped in the draft. People were too scared to draft him because they would have had to change their entire offensive scheme to fit his skill set. And they're too scared to run their quarterback. This franchise guy, he's going to make too much money. The quarterback, it's too important. He can't be running around. Well, the Ravens have already proved that wrong. They've proven that you can have success. Not just success, major success in the NFL running your quarterback. Now, longevity, is that going to be an issue? We don't know yet. That's why people are scared. And in all honesty, if everyone's being honest, if you have 3 years of play like this, if you have 3 years of 14-2 type play, 11-5 plus, if you get 3 years of that from a running style quarterback, and that means he doesn't make it to year 8, I am 100% okay with that. If you can get one Super Bowl, I think everybody would say you're okay with that. If you just get one Super Bowl, this Joe Flacco thing, it was awesome. He got one Super Bowl and he didn't really produce other than that. But, if we had another quarterback and we maybe got into the playoffs every single year but didn't win the Super Bowl, then what's the fucking point? I would rather have, a Lamar Jackson for a short amount of time. But I'm losing track of what I was talking about. Bring in the triple option. No one's done it in the NFL. And the triple option, it reminds me of when the MMA was introduced to jiu-jitsu, right? This is what I feel would happen in the NFL. Jiu-jitsu, it's a fighting style that's made for people who are smaller. If you have perfect technique in jiu-jitsu, you're able to take out bigger competition. Now, does that mean if you're the bigger competition and you're a perfect tactician at jiu-jitsu, you won't have success and it's only built for small people? No. If you're a juggernaut, in the ring and you know jiu-jitsu, you're just a juggernaut who knows jiu-jitsu, and you'll have the technique to take down anybody. It's like the perfect, hey, you want to punch me in the face? Well, I'm just going to take you down and choke you out. There's nothing you can do. It's the perfect technique for someone who's smaller taking out someone that's bigger. And that's why Navy, they have success up against these bigger schools. It's because they don't know how they're doing it. Navy practices it, every single day. It's very confusing. The ball goes left, it goes right. They're running all over the place. They pass it every once in a while, right? And it just confuses teams. Now, if you're a football god and maybe you know something that I don't, it seems like it should work. If you take it to the next level, shouldn't it work? And the whole reason it hasn't is because, that's not how you win football. You need to drop that quarterback. That's not pro football. Like a lot of talk in the draft. I think after this year that will change. How often do you hear when when an analyst or anybody's talking about a quarterback prospect and they say, we just don't know how he's going to fit in a pro-style offense? Well, why the fuck does it have to be a pro-style offense? Let's shake things up. Listen, there is a reason Navy and Army run the triple option. These are our branches of military, our bravest, best, and brightest. The military, they had cell phones with GPS back in the 80s. They had cell phones back in the 40s, back in World War II. Calling in an airstrike, that's a cell phone, right? Is it not? The point is, the military always has the stuff before us. They are always on it. They have technology before the rest of us get it, right? And so let's look to our best and brightest. Let's look to our military branches and see what they think about the football landscape. How do they attack the field? How do they attack the football game? Because obviously they have everything else before everybody. So they have this style of offense before everybody. They're the only ones running it. Maybe there's other teams running it. I don't fucking know. But this is our branches of military. So let's reach on into the skunk works, to the JP Morgan, to the science nerds of the, I don't know, security clearance bullshit. Let's get a spy in there. Let's get some security clearance and let's pick up what the military is doing, because they know something that we don't. I mean, they're military teams. They know about warfare. And what is football? It's just warfare, but on a field. It's condensed down, Humans are just addicted to violence and warfare. But since killing people isn't chill, they have to take it to sports and football. So let's do this. Ravens Nation, let's go full on triple option. Yeah, if you're not down with that, go fuck yourself. You know how exciting that would be? You would take the league by storm. No one will be able to stop it. And like I said, maybe there's a way to stop it. Maybe the football nerds, maybe there is a way to stop it. And these college teams, these better college teams, these dominating college teams that play them, just choose not to practice it because, hey, we're only going to play them this 1 week. Let's, cut our losses. If they win, they win. They caught us off guard with this perfect technique of a skilled offense. But why don't we just bring that to the next level? It's this offense that's designed for these smaller players. Because they have the Navy and Army, they have restrictions on your height, weight, for the military, right? They measure you. I'm pretty sure that's like an actual thing. So they have to have a perfectly technical game plan, right? They have to be smart by the way they play, because they know they don't have the same players as these other schools. They don't have the same talent. So they have to use a jiu-jitsu to take down the bigger competition, right? And that's what this offense is. It's jiu-jitsu. So we could be the first, we could bring jiu-jitsu to the MMA. The Ravens could bring the triple option to the NFL. We've already proven that you can do it with a running quarterback. We already have the guy. Will his passing numbers go down? I'm sure. But, I just think there's no reason why it hasn't been done before. It's just because coaches are brought up in a West Coast system. They're brought up in another style, and they're too scared to adopt a whole new different version. John Harbaugh has proven to us that he is not scared. He is completely okay with doing a 180 mid-season and switching over to Lamar. And wasn't even really a 180. It's just people are too scared. He's just a running quarterback. Just people are nervous about that type of stuff. But if with this triple option, with Lamar's skill set, who's to say it's not godlike? I mean, I think, the first season you break it out, it's going to be similar to this season, where people aren't going to know exactly what to do. They won't have an off season to try and decipher what the Ravens really do in each and every situation. They won't have time to study. So you have this first year with this triple option, and no one's going to be able to stop it, because week to week, you're not going to have enough time to prepare. You're not going to have enough people on your squad to study what the Ravens are doing and duplicate it in practice, and have your defenders try and duplicate it at full speed. Because we'd be taking this perfect technique, right? It's just I'm just calling it that because, right, it's the jiu-jitsu of football. It's if you have perfect technique, perfect technique defeats skill any day of the week. And this offense is that perfect technique. So let's use players that are already as dominant, right? Because the Navy, they're fucking with opponents with smaller guys, with not as talented rosters. And they're still able to fuck with opponents. And that's because they have the perfect technique and no one knows exactly how to stop it. And like I said, maybe there is a way to stop it, but I think the Ravens are primed and ready if Greg Roman leaves to take the next leap. They've already gone balls deep into this running quarterback. So let's double down, let's triple down, let's parlay, let's go all in, put your money on the roulette table. I'm going all in. Whatever it is, come on, Red. Let it ride. I don't know. I'm honestly hyped about this scenario. I really am. And I literally just thought about it before I started recording. I was like, oh shit, I think that would be dope. And maybe you think otherwise. Please feel free to let me know in the comments if you're on YouTube. If you're listening on a podcasting app, then thank you for listening. Drop a 5-star, help your boy out. But listen, no one has brought it to the league, and there is no reason in my mind why it won't work. And I think the Navy head coach will be 100% about it, or the Army head coach. Whoever runs this triple option. There's probably another school that I'm just not thinking about. It's coming to the top of my head right now. But these guys would have an opportunity to coach and lead dominant, already NFL players, guys that can dominate, on the line of scrimmage. They'll have a good offensive line. The Ravens already have a good offensive line. So imagine this whole scheme that's able to work with smaller offensive line, with guys who aren't as big and as strong as the competition, and they can still get it done. I just don't see a reason why, if you bring that system up with better players, it won't continue to have success. Has success with worse players, it should have success with better players. To me, that it only makes sense. Now, I get it. You don't have players who have run that system, but that's what training camp, that's what the OTAs, all off-season is for. You drill it. Isn't that what the military is known for? You drill this shit down to the point where it's perfected, and when you take it to the field, no one's going to know how to stop it. And anytime someone tries to prepare, you bring out the new wrinkle. You bring out the next step. Right? And the players, and maybe the coaches figure out a way to stop it, but the players still have to play it on the field. And it's a kind of system that it's going to cause players to be thinking out on the field. And what made Lamar and this offense successful this year? It's because these defenders, they're thinking, oh shit, well, do I stop? Do I go after this guy? Should I go after this guy? That indecision, that split second, that's what causes Lamar Jackson to go outside or just give the rock up the middle, and it causes a huge gain. I mean, this is what the military is doing. And like I said, they have everything before we do. Before the private sector gets their hands on any piece of technology, the military's had it for at least 10 years. How long have Navy and Army been running the triple option? At least 10 years, right? So it's time to finally bring this over to the private sector. Let's bring it over to professional sports. Let's bring over this system. And let's be the first to do it, because we're halfway there, man. We are halfway there. And I mean, Lamar Jackson, maybe he's not perfect for that system. But I mean, he's a running quarterback, and he's excellent with the ball in his hands. As a runner, he's top 5 in the league. Just running talent, he might be even the best. No one at QB jukes like Lamar, except maybe Navy quarterback Malcolm Perry, who I think the Ravens should draft. You go ahead, everybody go ahead and watch his highlight tape. Right now, you pause this and then come back. Watch his highlight tape. I'm definitely going to be breaking down, his tape, not just his highlight tape, because I watched his highlight tape and I was like, oh shit, this guy would be good for offense right now. But it got me thinking, this guy's having success because he can juke, man. He jukes like Lamar. He's just smaller, right? He's shorter, smaller, but man, that dude has some wiggle. But when you're thinking about a Navy quarterback, you think, oh, well, he's not that good at throwing. He's pretty decent at throwing. Only saw his highlights, so of course you only see the good throws. But all he was throwing was bombs down the field. And who do we have? We got Marquise Brown, one of the best bomb catchers in the league. Speaking of bombs in the military and Navy, right? But I mean, that's bomb. That's bomb squad. And I mean, he's great. He can run. He can throw. He can catch. He is going to be a great player for our system right now if we keep Greg Roman, right? I think he's a sleeper for the Ravens to draft, and I want them to keep him. I want this running QB thing to be an actual thing that we do forever. I always secretly hoped Joe Flacco got hurt so Tyrod would come in, which is a crazy thing to say, but I genuinely thought that. Come on, Joe Flacco, get out there. Get out and bring in Tyrod, because Tyrod was fun to watch. But, bring in a Malcolm Perry and then bring in his head coach and teach the Ravens how to run that triple option and, add more passing wrinkles into it. We still have Dave Culley, and he can look at it. And, all right, so here where we're going here with the line and everything. And, here's a passing concept that would really work with it. I don't know if the Navy coaches have ever really worked with a passing attack as well. They just do the running triple option. Maybe that's the only way it works, and maybe I am a fool for thinking all of this. But I think we could be the first to, not just a new era, really just bring a whole new style of offense to the NFL. It's been done in college, but done in high school, everyone's just too scared to do it in the league. Because all these guys, right, speaking about earlier with the coordinators and leaving and first-time head coaches, their jobs aren't secure. They've only done it for a couple of years. The Ravens, they have continuity. They have had these guys for years in the front office, and they're not scared to try new things because they know their jobs are secure. They know they're safe because they have a track record and they've done this before. So they're able to kind of work around the system a little bit, or that's part of the reason they got Lamar Jackson, because they knew they'll be fine. Like Ozzy is like, hey, well, I'm out of here. So if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and they know their jobs aren't 100% on the line each and every year. Now, obviously, it takes a build up. Bad year, bad year, bad year, bad year. Then eventually, you're like, all right, we got to change things up. But they've had the continuity where we've seen a couple bad years, and then we've seen them come out of the fire. So they have the ability, the continuity to bring the triple option to the NFL. I'm hyped about it because I genuinely think it will work. I really do. I think we have the personnel. We have the tight ends. So you can pass out of this whole crazy heavy set. We're already doing that, and that's why we have so much success, because we bring out the heavy personnel, making the defense bring out their heavy personnel, and then we pass it right over them. But let's just do that to the nth degree. That's what the triple option is, right? This is what the boys in blue, the best and brightest, this is what our military branches are doing. So let's just get on it, man. They know a thing or two about warfare, and football is warfare. So let's kill them. Kill them. Woo! Woo! Hell yeah. It's blacked out for a minute. The fuck just happened? Was I doing a podcast? Jesus Christ, the triple option on my mind. 1, 2, 3. Lamar Jackson and me. I'm running free. I don't know. But just imagine like two running QBs on the field, pitch it to each other. We did a little bit with the Heisman package, but imagine like a perfected system. A system that a guy has already proven and he knows works, at least at the college level, against bigger and better competition. Let's bring it to the fucking NFL, baby. Why is it so difficult? Can someone do it? It's going to happen eventually, right? At some point, someone's going to do it. And I think it should be us. I think it should be us. Maybe the NFL will figure it out. Maybe there's a clear and obvious way to stop it. And the only, from my limited knowledge of the triple option offense, the only way you stop it is to just be a way better team at the line of scrimmage. And that's the people that Navy has to face, people who are bigger and badder than them. Right? Let's get a spy in there. Let's take a look at our defense department, or should I say defense department? I mean, right? It's the defense department. The military is part of the defense department, right? Even though we're talking about the offense, but they know a thing or two about defense. Yeah, man. Hopefully you agree with me. Hopefully I'm making sense. If you don't, please let me know. Tell me why I'm wrong. A very long, detailed comment on YouTube. Why I'm right, why I'm wrong. Are you hyped about this opportunity? First and foremost, check out Malcolm Perry, MALCOLM, I think, and then PERRY. I think that's how you spell it. Yeah, Malcolm Perry, he would work in offense right now. I think, not just as a quarterback, but as a wide receiver, as a running back, just as a threat, like a Taysom Hill, but shifty, right? Like a smaller, shifty Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill, he's a bruiser. I'm going to run you over. But we could use this guy, and he's a shifty, fast kind of guy. And that's how we got to surround Lamar Jackson, this offensive system, just more and more speed. I'm just saying, man, this triple option, it works against badder teams in college. Why wouldn't it work against badder teams in the NFL? And we already are that bad team. So let's go double bad. Let's go evil. Let's go medieval on their ass, as Greg Roman would like to say. So I'm just hyped about the prospect of us doing that. I think it truly would be, like there would be a 30 for 30 on it. The time the Ravens took over. I don't know. Is there going to be a 30 for 30 on Jameis Winston's 30 for 30? There should be. It should already be in the works right now. So, Lockheed, Skunk Works, Boeing. What's the other one? All those big government contractors. They know a thing or two about the future and technology, and the military, and what the military does is triple option football. They have it before everybody else does. So I think we just look to our boys in blue, man. Just look. That's the cops. What am I talking about? I said that earlier too. The boys in blue are cops. So let's not look to our cops. Let's look to our military. The boys in camo. Where are they? Maybe that's why the triple option works. It's because they're all wearing camo. No one can see them. Anyways, wow, what a rant. What a great idea, right? Right? Please, anyway, do you agree? Agree with me, please. So, let me just get into my playoff prediction. Definitely not going to be as hyped, but yeah, man. Let me do that. I'm going to pull up my computer, so I'm going to pause this. All right, Jesus, I'm back. It took me a while to find a website that I can use. I guess I could have done it on paper, but I didn't want to mess up by accidentally putting the wrong teams together. They're actually the higher seeds, so they play this guy. I didn't want to mess that up. Didn't want to sound like a fool. I just wanted to do that on my own. So let's pick a Super Bowl winner. Full disclosure, I'm picking the Ravens. You should already know this. This is the Craving Some Raven podcast, and what do we do here? We crave some Raven. All right. So, I think the first game, let's start with the NFC, just get those out of the way, then we'll get to the good, the juicy stuff. The AFC, but if I'm looking, I think the NFC has stronger overall teams. I just think, I think the AFC is a little bit top heavy, but I think it's real top heavy, heavier than the NFC. But let's start with the Seahawks and Eagles, right? This is a no-brainer. Go with the Seahawks, Russell Wilson. He's got God on his side. Carson Wentz, they kind of snuck into the playoffs. They're the NFC East, one of the worst divisions. But no, I'm taking the Eagles with the upset, because what do the Eagles do? It is magic time right now. They just find a way to win. And I know the Seahawks, they have a great record. They play everyone tough, but that's the thing. They play everyone tough. Everybody. You know how many times they've been trailing in a game and somehow won? They have gotten so lucky. They are frauds this year. They are the best frauds all year because, damn, they look like a good team sometimes. But they're really not. They're really not. They have lapses in the team. I just don't think the Seahawks are as good as advertised. I think Russell Wilson bails them out, and it's oh, well, won't they do it this time? I just think the Eagles have some sort of magic, and it is still going to be cooking. It's still going to be brewing up for the first weekend in the playoffs. And I think, all the conversations soon after can be are the Eagles going to do it? They're on this magical run. They've done it before. Why not? Why not? But I think I think they beat the Seahawks in a battle of the birds, and it's oh no, Russell Wilson paid him all this money. They still had things going for him, but really they weren't that great of a team this year. I mean, they had the wins, so I guess that's really all that matters. But watching them, man, they were tough sometimes. There's a couple times where it's man, you guys look bad. All right, that was a goat or a sheep telling you look bad. So next for the NFC in the wild card, it is the Vikings versus the Saints. This is, I believe, a rematch of when the Vikings had that miracle. I'm going with the Saints. Easy. They got God on their side too, right? They're the Saints. They've been duped multiple times. They've changed rules because of this team, that pass interference. They're going against the Vikings. I mean, Kirk Cousins. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Vikings are good. When the Vikings are on, they are unstoppable. If the Vikings were on and they were guaranteed to be on, I might put them in the Super Bowl. But they are just not. Sometimes they're on, sometimes they're not. Is Dalvin Cook even playing? I don't fucking know. And Kirk Cousins, we've talked about this before. If he was orange juice, he'd come with all pulp. It would be nothing but pulp. That's the kind of guy he is. Kirk Cousins, his name is Kirk. That's all you need to know. He's not going to win any big games. He's, I think, 0-9 on Monday night. I mean, come on, bro. Statistically, you would have won at least one. I mean, come on. If you flip a coin, you would have won one. So, in the divisional round, it is the Eagles versus the 49ers, and the Saints versus the Packers. So let's go with the Eagles and the 49ers, right? The Eagles, they're running with this magic. They're going with it. They're flying high. They're feeling good. Oh, it's going to happen again? No. San Francisco comes in there, shows them what a real team is all about, and says, yeah. You were a fun story. You had the 1 week. That whole week, everyone's talking, oh, are they going to do it? They got the magic. Oh, they did it before. They were a wild card and they won the Super Bowl. Oh, my God. No, you trash. Go home. Get a new team. Carson Wentz is going to throw like 1,000 interceptions. Maybe they win. I don't know. But I do not see the Eagles. I think their magic just runs out. They are too injured, and that's why it's going to be such a shock when they defeat the Seahawks. But secretly, the Seahawks aren't that good. But the Eagles, they're going to show the world what they truly are, and that is a team that doesn't deserve to be in the playoffs. They never did. They just happened to be in one of the worst divisions. No, not one of them. The worst division in football, and so they backed their way into the playoffs somehow as the 4 seed. Sometimes I feel like they should change it up, but you know what? Sometimes I like it. You had all these great teams with great records, and you get the Eagles with a go fuck yourself kind of record. So I think, the Eagles' magic, it runs out, and San Francisco is in the conference championship for the NFC. So who's going to join them? Well, we got the Saints versus the Packers, right? The Saints, they've been duped too many times. They've been, stabbed in the back, their hearts taken out by the refs. This is their year, right? No, they got to go to Green Bay, and you're telling me Drew Brees at 40-something years old, outside? All of his numbers, all of his great numbers, do people forget that he's playing inside and that helps your numbers? He's still a great quarterback. They're still a great team. But I've seen them lose to trash teams. Remember when the Falcons went on a little bit of a run, and the Falcons, it started with them demolishing the Saints. A Saints team. It's a good team. Sean Payton, one of the great offensive minds in this, generation, decade, right? I don't know, it's a new decade, 2020, or it's your vision, I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, happy 2020, actually. Happy New Year. I didn't, mention that at the top of the show, but Happy New Year. We are in the roaring 20s. Hopefully a plague doesn't hit us, because one seems to hit every 1920s, 1820s, 1720s, 1620s. Something bad always happens in the 20s. But we are now in the roaring 20s, so that's what's up. New decade, new me, what's good? The decade has decayed, so hello, 2020. If this was being played in the Superdome, in this matchup, I would take the Saints all fucking day. But this is going to be in Green Bay, in the elements. It's probably going to snow. So I'm taking Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers doing Aaron Rodgers things in the playoffs. I know we haven't seen it recently. He's not the same person, but neither is Drew Brees. I know he just got the record. He's been playing well, statistically been playing well. But I think, they've made it to the conference championship. They've been, been doing great in the playoffs these past couple years. And I think finally, it just doesn't happen for them. And it's nothing, there's no controversy with refs. I think they just get beat. I think, hopefully Green Bay decides to just double and triple Michael Thomas, and then they won't know what to do on offense, because that seems to be what the Saints are. Alvin Kamara having a tough time this year. So it's Packers versus 49ers in the NFC Championship. Oh, man, this makes people in the 60s proud. Or whenever the 49ers were good. The 80s, I don't fucking know. I wasn't alive when they were good. But whenever they got their 6, I feel like the Packers have always kind of just been good. So this is a good old school kind of matchup. First and second seeds being played at the 49ers. Green Bay coming off of a great win against the Saints. The 49ers playing the easiest team that they could have played. And, they only did it against the Eagles. But no, the 49ers win this game, and they're going to the Super Bowl, baby. Woo! The 1 seed going to the Super Bowl. Congratulations, 49ers, because this is exactly how everything's going to go. I'm not getting anything wrong here. This is exactly what's going to happen. Everybody knows that what I say is 100% true. I didn't get a single game wrong all year. Don't go back and listen to any episodes, because you'll be proven wrong. This is how I think it's going to go. Really, it's just my opinion. If you came here, you know how I do it. I don't have a script, and I just let it loose, let it go, baby. Let's talk some football. So the 49ers beating the Packers. I just think the 49ers are a great fucking team. They've been dominating all year. I love what Deebo Samuel's been doing. I was definitely wrong about him in the draft. I just didn't see him being that guy. I didn't see it. When I was watching his tape, I just wasn't impressed. Maybe I was watching the wrong games. Maybe in those games he happened to be injured. I just saw too many drops, too many mistakes, too many what are you doing? That ain't gonna fly. I ain't too hyped about that. But, I mean, Jimmy G playing well. The run game, Raheem Mostert coming out of nowhere. I guess he was an ex-Raven, just balling out. Kyle Shanahan's running scheme is definitely really dominant, and I think the Green Bay Packers just aren't going to be able to handle it. Now, I think the Packers are a little bit fraudy, too. I just think they beat the Saints just because of the elements. I really do think that might be what decides that game. It's nothing against Aaron Rodgers, right? He's one of the greatest of all time, but, it is what it is, and the Packers lose in the conference championship, and the 49ers are playing in the Super Bowl, baby. So let's see who they meet up with, even though I kind of already spoiled it. But let's start with the Bills at the Texans, and this is such a fucking tough game to pick because I don't feel like either of these teams, they're not going to win it. I don't see them having a chance at winning the whole thing. Winning a Super Bowl or even getting to the Super Bowl. So it's at what point do these teams lose? One of them's got to lose, or one of them's got to win at this point. If I could pick them to tie, I would, because that's how I feel about these teams. And I'm going to go with the Texans to win it just because they have playoff experience. Deshaun Watson might do something special. Josh Allen on the Bills side of things, he just doesn't have the experience. I just think Texans, I don't believe in Bill O'Brien. God, it's such a fucking tough one to pick. I don't believe in either of these teams, so it's tough to pick. I'm picking the Texans just because I can't pick the Bills. I just can't. All right, it's just something that at the beginning of the season, just don't pick the Bills, even if they have a great year. You just can't. I just don't bet on the Bills, right? I just don't do it. So next we got Titans versus Patriots. Disciple versus coach. I mean, you got Mike Vrabel used to be coached by Bill Belichick. Like Vrabel, he said he's going to cut his dick off to fucking if he could win the Super Bowl. I think it was something he said. Sorry, I was messing with something on here on the goddamn bracket. I just wanted to see how things would change if the Patriots won. Oh, I just gave it away. I have the Titans winning. Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown, Ryan Tannehill on a tear right now. Now, I think they're due for a let-up. They've been playing too hot, and this is what the Titans do. It's in their logo. They're on fire one week, and then the next week they're just not, right? And that really could be what happens here, but I'm just going to go with the hot team. From watching everything on tape, I've seen more success out of the Titans than I have out of the Patriots. Yes, the Patriots have a great record, but I think they're super fraudy. They had one of the easiest schedules all year. I love what A.J. Brown was doing, not only because he's a great player, but because he was my favorite wide receiver coming out. And so he proved me right. And so I'm a huge fan of the Titans, what they've been doing with Ryan Tannehill. Run the damn ball and big plays in the passing game. And the Patriots really aren't that good. Now, they have all that playoff experience, but you know what? The past is the past. Let's let it die. Shout out to Kylo Ren. So, with that being said, we go into the next round. Titans win. Ooh, the Patriots are out. Oh, they're done. Everyone's fired. Bill Belichick's leaving. Brady's leaving. God, I would have loved for all that to happen. So, let's go to the Texans at the Chiefs. Chiefs win. I mean, there's nothing to talk about with this one. I mean, come on. So let's go to the game that really matters, because I am going to this game. I'm going to the divisional round where the Ravens will be in this scenario. This is the right scenario. We'll be facing the Titans. Because if they don't face the Titans, in my scenarios, I'm facing the Texans, and we've already demolished the Texans. And I like the idea of the Ravens facing the Titans, right? They're the hottest team right now. You could say the hottest team in the playoffs, really coming in screaming hot, just like their logo. But they haven't seen Lamar Jackson yet. That's why it's better for us to play a team we haven't seen before, because that way they can be caught off guard somewhat. That's where some of our success on offense, where it kind of comes from them not being ready for a Lamar Jackson. So they're coming in red hot, and we just shit all over them. They're bringing back old school divisional rival vibes. Eddie George, Ray Lewis. They do have Derrick Henry, who's like the new version of an Eddie George. Big, powerful running back. And so I just think our run defense will be able to stymie Derrick Henry. He may get one, maybe a couple good runs, but we don't get caught on for huge runs. It only happened once this entire year, where it was that Nick Chubb run all the way to the house. That just doesn't happen to us. Our safeties are usually at least in position to stop that from happening, and then we can hold them in the red zone. We've been very successful at that this year. And so, the Titans, I think they make a little bit of noise, and then the Ravens just end up pulling it out. Lamar Jackson on a crazy play. Maybe they just dominate him so much that Lamar sits. I don't really know how this game is going to go. I hope it's a dominating win. I'm going to this game. I'm going to be fucking drinking and yelling. I will have no voice, so I don't know what the podcast is going to be like, that week. Afterwards, I really don't know, but I'm going to this game. If you are too, feel free to drop the comment in there, and I'll let you know what my plans are, because I plan on tailgating. My dad got the tickets, and I told him, hey, I didn't tell him this yet, but when I get there, like my plan, we are gonna tailgate. I am gonna get fucking drunk. I hope I don't remember the game. Okay, maybe not that bad. All right, but. So in this scenario, I have the Ravens winning at home, so that means the Chiefs have to come to Baltimore. Holy shit, this is what the NFL deserves. This is the fucking game, right? Are you kidding me? The Chiefs are the only ones to have Lamar Jackson's number. Other teams have beaten Lamar Jackson, but the Chiefs twice have beaten us, but both times we're in the Chiefs' house. So let's come on down to Baltimore. Let's see how you fare. All right? This is going to be the game, right? Mahomes versus Jackson, the new Brady Manning. It needs to have its own thing. The Fro Bowl. I don't know, because they both have afros somewhat. I don't know. The Fro Bowl? I don't know. Yeah, we'll got to come up with a name. The fucking, I don't know. Either way, these are the two top quarterbacks in everyone's mind. Everyone's, Patrick Mahomes, he had that great year last year. Lamar Jackson, great year this year. Both on historic paces, I guess, to start off their young careers. Chiefs offense, I would say, is, statistically, I think the Ravens offense is better, but I think the Chiefs, statistically, the Ravens is better. But I think the Chiefs, watching the game, I would say it is more explosive. Bigger plays, can kind of score at any moment. I know we have a good defense, but it is going to be impossible to stop that track team that's over there. Last time we played them, Tyreek Hill wasn't there. So, and we also have a whole new defense. We got Marcus Peters. So, who used to play for the Chiefs, which I'm realizing now. So, oh shit, a little bit of a homecoming, or I guess coming to his new home. Hey, welcome to my new house. Look at my new girlfriend. They're way hotter. My new girlfriend's way hotter than you. Come on in. Yeah. Take your shoes off. It's warm in here. We'd like to do a nice feng shui thing at the apartment. Anyways, so there a lot of storylines going through this. There are bugaboo, right? Purple versus red. This is going to be the thing. And it's going to be a high-scoring game. And the Ravens win it. They finally get that monkey off their back, all right? The Chiefs have not had to come to our stadium, had to deal with our crowd. Thank you, Ravens, for getting the 1 seed and making this a possibility. I wanted to get tickets to this game instead of the divisional game, but you don't know. We could have lost the divisional game, and I don't know if any things are fundable, so kind of a pain in the ass to deal with if it doesn't work out. And, I had these fucking tickets. Oh, God damn it. They didn't fucking win. God damn it. And then we're in the offseason. But I have the Ravens beating Kansas City, a hot team, not only because they're red, but because they can score. And I think the Ravens win it out on a defensive play, similar to what C.J. Mosley did for us last year up against the Browns on a crazy interception or a sack. The Ravens win it on defense. So that brings us to the Super Bowl. Wow, bold prediction, bro. Both of the first seeds into the Super Bowl? Hell yeah. Well, that's why they're the 1 seeds. They're the 2 best teams in the league. And what happened last time they faced? Oh, the Ravens won. So this is not only a Super Bowl matchup, but a rematch from the regular season back when I was at this game. It was raining. It was disgusting. It was cold. It was wet. It was the worst, but oh man, were those Ravens good. Not the best outing, but the elements were involved. This one, it's the Super Bowl, it's going to be in Miami, where Lamar Jackson's from. The season started in Miami. It'll end in Miami. It's a perfect circle. He's from the area. It's just a whole rematch, hardball, like so many different connections. With the 2-week waiting period, everyone's going to bring everything out. There's going to be stats like, oh, did you know that when the sun's out, peeking down the left corner, during a full moon, the Ravens are actually worse than the 49ers. Oh, really, Chad? Anyways, so rematch of the Super Bowl, and I think we get a redo of everything, and the Ravens win this game. The lights do not go out, and the Ravens win this one. They get up on them early. They stay on them, and then the 49ers come in hot after halftime, just like they did last time, but the Ravens are eventually able to stymie their progress. They don't have a running quarterback like Kaepernick, and our defense is able to stop them. We put up another couple scores, and the Ravens are Super Bowl champs. And Lamar Jackson becomes a legend of the fucking game. You guys remember those Disney shorts back in the day? Legends of the game. And they were like commentating on like some kids playing tag. That's classic. But Lamar Jackson becomes a legend of the game because Babe Ruth called his shot, and in his second season, after he gets drafted, believe that, you can get a Super Bowl out of me, believe that. So in his second season, he comes through with his promise, called his shot. He's a true legend on the Hall of Fame with Jordan and everybody, and it just, I don't know, I feel like just he joined Jordan. That's what I think. He's going to be a new sensation. I don't know if he takes TV commercials or anything. I don't know if he'll say he's going to Disney World. I don't fucking know. But he's going to be the Super Bowl MVP. He's going to be the league MVP. I don't know if that's been done before, but it's going to culminate this legit Ravens season. They are just the best team in the league. Offense, defense, special teams. When one's slacking, the other one picks it up. We've just been dominating. We've dominated at all three phases throughout the season. So the better team prevails. The number one of the number one seeds prevails. Going vanilla with this. I felt like, my playoff scenario had the Eagles winning, right? Had the Packers winning. I think everybody would say the Saints are a better team. I got the Titans winning, even though that's not controversial. The Texans winning. I mean, this is just a culmination of the season, and it's excellent, and the Ravens win, and I go off into the sunset, and Baltimore has a whole new generation of Lamar babies because Lamar Jackson is going to increase the population in Baltimore himself because of how good he plays. Everyone's going to be getting laid. So more babies in Baltimore, which is, I'm sure, what the city needs. Listen, man, I cannot wait if this happens. This has been an episode of just being overhyped. What did I eat? What happened? But why am I so hyped right now? I just am thinking about this Ravens football. I got my tickets today, my plane tickets today to go to the game, so it's official. I'm going to that. So maybe that has something to do with it. I don't fucking know. I am just so excited to see my Ravens live at the divisional room. Going to be tailgating, going to be drunk, watching some football, eating some food, some crab cakes. Give me some seafood. I'm out in New Mexico. We don't get the good, right? So I eat nothing but fish. I damn near get mercury poisoning anytime I'm in Maryland. Give me the good seafood. Give me the W. Crab cakes on the trophy. Man, bringing a third one in. Oh, wow. That would be something, right? And Lamar Jackson's second year. And fuck it, let's go for a fourth or a second with Lamar the very next year with the Navy head coach as our offensive coordinator. Man, I really think it would be a good idea. It would suck for our wide receivers because they're not going to get as much love. But, that's the NFL. Dog eat dog, right? Or in this case, Raven eat Raven. So that's my playoff prediction. Obviously, I'm a Ravens fan, so I have the Ravens winning. But it's not controversial. Everyone kind of agrees that they're the best team in the league. And do you have someone upsetting them? If someone does beat them, it will be the Chiefs, most likely. I don't see the Texans, Titans, or Bills beating the Ravens. The Patriots, man, how fucked up would it be if they won again? Oh my God, I'd kill myself, dude. Not really, but you know the feeling. All sports fans like, all right, we're done. Can we go? Can we leave yet? Like, is this ride over? Is it gonna keep going around? This roller coaster never ends. Like, I just want the Titans to demolish the Patriots so we can all just have a sigh of relief, get that monkey off our back, and just, all right, fucking finally, dude. They're not there anymore. I mean, everything tells you that they shouldn't win, and yet they probably will. Fuck. But the Ravens prevail and win the Super Bowl. If we face the Patriots again, I believe we can take them. I do not believe it's any sort of issue facing them. I just think we have the best team in the league. Top 5 defense, number 1 offense. You know, I know the numbers, that's not what you hang your hat on, but watching it, I think the most exciting offense, maybe not most explosive, but most exciting. Like I said, the Chiefs, most explosive, but the Ravens, most exciting. Lamar Jackson, legit. This is going to be a fun season when it finally ends in February. Yep, I said it. So that is my playoff prediction. I think I'm going to go, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to go 12-0 in this playoffs. Everything I say that's going to happen is going to happen. So, sorry if I sounded too hyped or screamed a little bit too loud in your ear. I was a little bit hyped for this episode, man. What are you going to do? So with that being said, anything I said you disagree or agree with, feel free to comment on it if you're listening on YouTube. Drop a like as well, I guess. That'd be cool. Just help your boy out. I am a podcast, so I am on all podcasting platforms, at least just the big ones. So with that being said, thank you for listening, and I will leave you with a go Ravens in the Super Bowl!